said, Mama got a note here from the Harper Valley PTA.
Don't get me wrong, it's not that I knock it, it's just that I...
You think these women were simply one-hit wonders? The truth is far more remarkable. Behind every unforgettable song is a story of perfect timing, impossible choices, and opportunities that never came twice. And from returning to her own country. Another built a mystery that people have argued about for decades because she refused to explain it.
So my arms reach out to you for love.
And one future legend got her first break in a group almost everyone forgot. If these songs were part of your life, you're about to hear them in a completely new way.
For we were young and sure to have our way.
Number 13, Those Were the Days, by Mary Hopkin.
Those were the days, my friend, we thought.
How does an unknown teenager become one of the biggest new stars in the world? One television appearance changed everything. Mary Hopkin won the British talent show Opportunity Knocks, and her performance caught the attention of Paul McCartney. As the Beatles launched Apple Records, McCartney wanted fresh new talent, and Hopkin became one of the label's first signings. He personally produced Those Were the Days,
Forever and a day, we'd live the life.
a song adapted from an older Russian romance that few listeners in Britain had ever heard. The gamble paid off. The record became a worldwide smash, reaching the top of the charts in several countries, and introducing a voice that sounded wise beyond its years.
Remember how we laughed away the hours.
Listen to the warmth in Mary's delivery. It feels less like a performance and more like someone remembering a beautiful chapter of life. For many fans, this one song became her lasting legacy. But our next artist reached the charts only after several famous singers decided they didn't want her song. Number 12, Angel of the Morning, by Merrilee Rush. Sometimes history is made because someone else says no. Before Merrilee Rush recorded Angel of the Morning,
Take me home.
the song had already been offered to several well-known singers. Some passed because its lyrics, about a woman choosing love without promises, were considered too daring for the late 1960s. Rush heard something different.
Maybe the sun's light will be dim, and it won't matter.
She found honesty instead of controversy, and her heartfelt performance transformed the song into one of the era's most enduring ballads. Ironically, the very lyric that made others hesitate helped make the record unforgettable.
Just call me angel of the morning.
Listen to the quiet confidence in her voice. She never forces the emotion because she doesn't have to. Every line sounds sincere, and that sincerity has carried the song through generations of new listeners. While Merrilee Rush challenged expectations with tenderness, the next woman turned an entire small town upside down with one unforgettable story.
Well, her daughter came home one afternoon and didn't even stop to play.
Number 11, Harper Valley PTA, by Jeannie C. Riley.
And she said, Mama got a note here from the Harper Valley PTA.
What happens when an ordinary woman finally decides she's had enough? America couldn't stop listening. Written by Tom T. Hall.
It's reported you've been drinking and running round with men and going wild.
Harper Valley PTA tells the story of a widow who confronts the hypocrisy of the very people criticizing her. Jeannie C. Riley delivered the story with wit, confidence,
Well, the note said, Mrs. Johnson, you're wearing your dress is way too high.
and just enough attitude to make listeners cheer her on. The record became an extraordinary crossover success, reaching number 1 on both the country and pop charts. Its popularity eventually inspired both a feature film and a television series, proving the story connected far beyond country music.
Had a teenage daughter who attended Harper Valley Junior High.
Listen to the smile hiding behind Riley's voice. She isn't shouting or seeking revenge. She simply lets the story speak for itself, and that's what makes it so satisfying. Across the Atlantic, another remarkable woman was already one of Britain's biggest stars, even though America would remember her for only one unforgettable hit.
Other eyes see the stars up in the sky.
Number 10, You're My World by Cilla Black.
So my arms reach out to you for
How does one of Britain's biggest stars become a one-hit wonder in America? By succeeding almost everywhere except the world's biggest music market.
As the trees reach for the sun above.
By the time You're My World reached American radio, Cilla Black was already a sensation in the United Kingdom. She was managed by Brian Epstein, the same man who guided the Beatles, and recorded many of her biggest hits with producer George Martin.
You're my world, your every move I make.
The song itself began life in Italy as Il Mio Mondo, but Cilla's soaring interpretation carried it into the American top 40. Strangely, despite her enormous success at home, this remained the only major hit most American listeners ever associated with her.
But for me, they shine within.
Listen to the way her voice keeps climbing without losing its warmth. It sounds effortless, but every note carries conviction. While Cilla found fame across the Atlantic, the next artist found herself thousands of miles from the country she loved most. Number 9. Pata Pata by Miriam Makeba. This joyful dance hit was recorded by a woman who wasn't allowed to go home. When Pata Pata became an international sensation, Miriam Makeba had already spent years living in exile. After speaking before the United Nations about apartheid in South Africa, her passport was revoked, preventing her from returning to her homeland. Yet, instead of letting silence define her, she introduced African music to audiences around the world. Although Pata Pata had existed in an earlier form, its international release transformed Makeba into a global star and brought African rhythms into the American mainstream. Listen to the happiness in her voice. Then remember the life she was living while she sang it. That contrast gives the record an emotional weight most listeners never realize. Another remarkable voice was also waiting for one song to change everything, although her journey was only just beginning. Number 8. Different Drum by the Stone Ponies featuring Linda Ronstadt.
Don't get me wrong, it's not that I knock it, it's just that
Before Linda Ronstadt became one of America's greatest singers, she was simply the voice everyone remembered from a band they almost forgot. Written by Michael Nesmith before his fame with the Monkees.
Every time you make eyes with me, it's true.
Different Drum gave the Stone Ponies their only major hit. Almost immediately, listeners noticed the young woman singing lead. Linda Ronstadt's confident performance became the record's biggest talking point and launched the solo career that would eventually earn multiple Grammy Awards and sell millions of records.
And moan and say it will work out.
Ironically, the band's defining hit also became the first chapter in a much bigger story. Listen to Linda's voice. Even here, you can hear the confidence, clarity, and emotional honesty that would later make her one of the defining voices of her generation.
Got my doubts, you can't see the forest for the trees.
Our next group also captured lightning in a bottle with one unforgettable hit. But unlike Linda Ronstadt, they never found another moment quite like it. Number 7. The Boy from New York City by the Ad Libs.
He looked at me and swept me off my feet.
How fast can success disappear? Sometimes before a group even has time to enjoy it. The Ad Libs burst onto the charts with The Boy from New York City, an irresistibly catchy celebration of young romance that reached the American top 10 during the height of the British invasion.
He's kinda tall. He's really fine.
Led by Mary Thomas, the New York vocal group suddenly found themselves competing with an explosion of British acts dominating radio. They never managed another hit of the same size, leaving this bright, energetic record as their lasting musical calling card.
Someday I hope to make it my own mind.
Listen to the excitement in those harmonies. They capture the sound of a city full of possibility and youthful optimism. If these forgotten stories are bringing back memories, subscribe and stay with us.
And oh so sweet.
Because the countdown only gets more surprising from here. The next singer spent years helping other artists find success before finally getting her own moment in the spotlight.
Rich or poor, or if you're smart or dumb.
Number 6. Born a Woman by Sandy Posie.
And if you're born a woman.
Before Sandy Posie became a star, chances are you had already heard her voice without realizing it. Long before recording Born a Woman, Posie earned a living singing demonstration records for songwriters and publishers. Those recordings were never meant for the public.
Woman's place in the soul world is under.
They existed only to convince established artists to record the songs. When the opportunity finally came to step behind the microphone as the featured performer, she made the most of it. Born a Woman became a major crossover success, introducing audiences to her warm, conversational style.
You're born to be heard. You're born.
And establishing the signature hit that would define her career. Listen to how naturally she tells the story. It feels more like a conversation than a performance.
Oh, if you're born a woman.
And that's exactly what makes it believable. Our next artist didn't sound like anyone else on the radio, and even the title of her biggest hit made people stop and smile. Number 5, Walkin' My Cat Named Dog by Norma Tanega. Sometimes the strangest title hides one of the decade's most unforgettable songs. Norma Tanega never tried to fit neatly into the pop music world, and that's exactly what made Walkin' My Cat Named Dog stand out. Blending folk, pop, and her own offbeat sense of humor, she created a record unlike anything else climbing the charts in the mid-60s. The song became her only major American hit, but Tanega continued writing and creating music for years afterward, earning admiration from fellow musicians for following her own path instead of chasing trends. Listen to the relaxed confidence in her voice. She never sounds like she's trying to impress anyone. She's simply being herself, and that honesty gives the record its lasting charm. The final 4 songs all reveal that one unforgettable hit can leave a legacy far greater than anyone imagined.
Where did you go?
Number 4, Stay With Me by Lorraine Ellison.
Take good care of you.
Some performances cannot be recreated because the emotion only happened once. Lorraine Ellison's unforgettable recording of Stay With Me has become one of soul music's greatest vocal performances.
Who did you run to and find?
Songwriter and producer Jerry Ragavoy reportedly found himself with unexpected studio time and quickly assembled a session with a full orchestra. Ellison stepped up to the microphone and delivered a performance so powerful that many musicians still point to it as a masterclass in singing from the heart. Although she never enjoyed another hit on the same level, this one recording secured her place in music history. Listen to the moment her voice begins to soar. It never feels polished for the sake of perfection. It feels real. Almost as if you're hearing someone's heartbreak in front of you. But the next story proves that sometimes the voices behind the biggest hits remain invisible until one special song finally gives them the spotlight.
to me, and it's like here it goes.
Number 3, Don't Say Nothing Bad About My Baby by The Cookies.
But not when he's kissing.
Millions of people already knew their voices. They just didn't know their names. Before finding success as The Cookies, the group's members were among the busiest background singers of the early 1960s. Their harmonies appeared on recordings by many of the era's biggest artists, quietly helping shape the sound of popular music. When they stepped forward with Don't Say Nothing Bad About My Baby, written by the legendary songwriting team of Jerry Goffin and Carole King, they finally had a chance to stand at center stage. It became their defining hit and remains one of the brightest gems of the girl group era. Listen to the effortless blend of those harmonies. They sound joyful, but they also reflect years of experience spent perfecting every note behind the scenes.
He's true to me. So girl, you better shut your mouth.
Our next hit came from an even more unlikely place, proving that sometimes history is made by people who never expected it.
Tell me, go to him, run to him, say sweet lovely things to him and tell him.
Number 2, Easier Said Than Done by the Essex.
Easier said than done. My buddies tell me fight.
What are the chances that 4 active duty soldiers would record the #1 song in America? Almost impossible, but that's exactly what happened. The Essex were serving in the United States Army when they recorded Easier Said Than Done. Unlike many pop groups of the era,
In my heart, I know it, but it's so hard to show it 'cause it's easy.
they weren't chasing stardom full-time. Music was something they pursued while fulfilling their military service. Against all expectations, the record climbed to the top of the Billboard Hot 100, turning an ordinary vocal group into chart-topping stars almost overnight.
Tell him I would die for him and tell him.
They never repeated that remarkable success, making this one of the most unlikely #1 hits of the entire decade. Listen to the confidence in their performance. It never sounds forced,
Though he gives me a feeling that sets my heart a-reeling, yet it's easy.
because they weren't trying to manufacture a hit. They were simply making music together. And now we arrive at the song that has kept listeners asking the same question for nearly 60 years.
Then my brother was baling hay.
Number 1, Ode to Billie Joe by Bobbie Gentry.
Day Billie Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
One unanswered question turned this song into one of the greatest mysteries in popular music. Bobbie Gentry wrote Ode to Billie Joe herself, introducing listeners to the haunting story of a young man who jumped from the Tallahatchie Bridge after throwing something into the river.
And at dinner time we stopped and walked back to the house to eat.
Almost immediately, audiences became obsessed with one question. What did Billie Joe throw away? Gentry never revealed the answer, explaining that the object itself was less important than the family's quiet inability to communicate with one another.
Mama hollered at the back door, y'all remember to wipe your feet.
That decision transformed a beautiful story song into an enduring mystery that people still debate today. Listen to the calmness in Bobbie Gentry's voice. She never tries to explain the mystery because she never wanted to. She wanted you to feel it.
And then she said, I got some news this morning from Choctaw Ridge.
And perhaps that's why these women are still remembered today. They may have given us only one defining hit, but each one left behind a story that continues to echo long after the music fades. These remarkable women may have been remembered for just one defining hit, but their stories prove that one unforgettable song can outlive an entire career. Every record on this countdown carries a little more meaning once you know what was happening behind the music. And there are many more hidden stories waiting inside the songs that shaped our lives. We'll keep uncovering them together.
When you're on the street, you got to